All right, so you've filed your claim, the adjuster's been out to the property, you've gotten your claim document, and now you and your roofer have sat down and you've compared the insurance claim with the roofer's estimate, and you've realized that the roofer's estimate is higher than your insurance claim. Now what happens? Hi everybody, this is Tracy Bookman, owner of Homestead Roofing, and this is actually number 4 in a series that we've done called 7 Things You Should Know About the Insurance Claim Process. And in this video, we're actually going to be talking about what is a supplement. We're going to explain what a supplement is, why it's necessary, and when it's necessary. So if you've discovered that your insurance claim doesn't have as much money in it as the estimate coming from your contractor, that's actually not an abnormal situation. That's very common. And so if that is the case, there's going to be 2 different scenarios that could kind of come into play. One is that your roofer's estimate is just a little bit higher than the insurance claim amount. The other one, obviously, is that your roofer's estimate is way higher than your insurance claim amount. So let's kind of break those 2 down and talk about what's going to happen, what you should expect in either one of those scenarios. So in the first scenario, let's say that your roofer's estimate is just a little bit higher than your insurance claim amount. There's actually 2 different options that your contractor has at that point. Option number 1 is he could just decide, I'm just going to do it for what the insurance claim amount is. Now that's usually going to happen if, like I say, the difference is really insignificant. And that's going to, insignificant is going to be defined based on the scope of the job. How big of a job is it? For example, if it's a very small job, maybe 1,500 square feet roof, something like that, if the difference is $250, that's pretty insignificant. If the difference is $1,500, that's a pretty significant difference. But let's say that the contractor decides that the difference between his estimate and the insurance claim for him is insignificant. He could decide that he's just going to go ahead and do the job. He's not going to worry about the difference in cost. He's not going to try to charge you for the difference in cost, but he's going to do it for what the insurance claim amount is. So what are the advantages to you as a homeowner in that? The advantage, obviously, is the process goes much faster, because if you or the contractor aren't trying to talk to the insurance company and get them to revise their claim to add additional line items, add additional scope of work, add additional dollars to the claim, then the whole process turns around a whole lot faster. Now, are there any disadvantages to you as a homeowner in doing that? Well, probably not so much a disadvantage as there is a warning. If your contractor has decided that he's going to do the work for less money than what he originally estimated so that he can match your insurance claim amount, there's a couple things that you want to make sure of. One is, will he be using the same materials that he originally put into his estimate? For example, if he put into his estimate synthetic underlayment or ice and water shield, you want to make sure that that's what he's going to actually be doing on the job and not downgrading you to like an economy felt or something like that. Make sure that the materials that he's going to use will be the same as what he originally quoted you. The other thing is to make sure that all of the components that he originally quoted will end up being part of the job. For example, if he originally quoted that he's going to replace wall flashing, you want to make sure that he does that. You want to make sure that he's not skipping that so that he can try to recoup the losses that he is going to incur because he's reducing his cost to match your insurance claim. The next option that he has is he could do what I call a post-job supplement. So what that means is he's decided that the difference between the insurance claim and his estimate is not significant, but he doesn't want to just give that money up. But he also doesn't want to slow down the process by asking the insurance company to approve the changes before the job. He's fairly confident that the insurance company is going to agree with his scope of work, so he goes ahead and does the job for you, and then he sends a supplement to the insurance company. Now we're going to talk about what a supplement actually is here in just a little bit, but then he sends a supplement to the insurance company with the invoice saying this is what we're charging the homeowner and this is why it's different than the original insurance claim. So the bottom line of this is it's just really the roofer on the back end after the job is done asking the insurance company to amend their claim and add certain things that were necessary to do the job to get you back to pre-storm conditions and meet all the code and meet all the manufacturer's installation requirements. But here's another thing that I would advise you to watch out for. Make sure that if when you've met with the roofer and he's identified that there are things that are missing from your insurance claim and he tells you that he's going to be filing a supplement on the back end, make sure that you're asking him what is it that he's going to be asking the insurance company to add to the claim. You want to make sure that that's part of his original scope of work. Now, of course, once you get the roof torn off, if you find things that have to be done at that point, you can't have known that ahead of time. So those kinds of things that falls under a different category. But if ahead of the job, if he knows he's going to be asking the insurance company to add things to the claim, make sure you as the homeowner know what those things are. So that way, when he does ask for those things, you know he's not just piling stuff into the claim to try to bump up the profit of it. So go into it with your eyes wide open and make sure that you understand what it is that he's going to be asking your insurance company to do. Now, what are the advantages to you as the homeowner in doing it this way? Again, it's just like the previous one where it speeds the process up. He's not waiting to get approval from the insurance company before he goes ahead and does the job for you. He's counting on the fact that he knows what he's doing and he's going to be able to convince the insurance company that they need to revise their claim. Now, are there any disadvantages to you as the homeowner? Probably not, as long as you make sure that the roofing contractor isn't going to be asking you to pay the cost differences if the insurance company doesn't match his invoice. So what that means is if he's asking for an additional $1,000 from the insurance company and they reject that, you want to know ahead of time if he's going to be asking you to pay those costs or if he's just going to settle for whatever the insurance pays. Well, that leads us to the second scenario, and that's if the cost difference between the insurance claim amount and his estimate is fairly significant. And again, that depends on the size of the job. If you've got a $50,000 re-roof job and the cost difference is maybe $750, that's a fairly insignificant amount. I'm not saying that a roofer should just give up that money, but you know, on a larger job, it's going to take a larger delta between those two numbers before the roofing contractor is going to want to file what we call a pre-job. That's what we call it, a pre-job supplement. And that just means that he's going to be sending in his supplement request ahead of doing the jobs and ahead of even buying any materials, because he's going to want to know what the insurance company is going to do with this request for a revision before he invests any time or money into the job. So now, what actually is a supplement? If you boil it all down, really a supplement is nothing more than just either a letter or an email from a homeowner or a contractor to an insurance company stating that the claim needs revising. It needs supplementing. So there are things that need to be added to the claim. And this could be simply because things were omitted. Maybe it's because the adjuster forgot things, or maybe the insurance company has told him not to put those things into the claim. That actually does occur. It may be because there are things that need to be done to make sure that the project meets code, manufacturer's installation specs. But regardless, if the supplement is approved, it's always going to result in an increase in the claim amount. So you're going to actually receive a second claim document once they make that revision, and it's going to show the new line items and the new costs and the new total. But here's what a supplement is not. A supplement is not an attempt to try to fluff up a claim, to try to milk it for all the profit that a contractor can get out of, or a homeowner can get out of it. And there are contractors and there are homeowners who try to do those things. The bottom line is, if the requests for additions to a claim are not legitimate, reasonable, fair, and can be justified, then the insurance company isn't going to pay those things, and they shouldn't pay those things. Now, if you're a homeowner and you're kind of new to this whole process, or maybe you've actually been through this a couple times, this surprisingly is not an abnormal part of the process. This is a regular and common part of what needs to occur to make sure that your home is restored to pre-storm conditions with like, kind, and quality materials. So if you're working with a professional contractor, then you can expect that he's going to know how to do this with the insurance company for that particular project for your particular house, because every house is different. It's not going to be the same process for everyone. Just remember that a professional contractor is less likely to tell you, oh, I'll just do it for whatever the insurance payout is. He may not even come with an estimate when he originally meets with you about the project. But there is one more important thing for you to remember as a homeowner. So if you have an insurance claim that is not including all of the things that are necessary for the shingle manufacturer to warranty that product against defect, and if the insurance claim isn't including everything for your roofing contractor to warrant his workmanship against leaks, against windblown shingles, against defects of the product caused by workmanship, if your insurance claim is not including the things for the manufacturer and the contractor to be able to warrant the product and the work, then if a problem shows up with your re-roof project in the future, and you agreed to have the contractor do it the way the insurance company said, you as the homeowner really are kind of responsible for any costs that it's going to take to do those repairs in the future. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you've got any questions, feel free to give us a call right up here at our office phone number, 719-433-6991. You can also visit our website, and that's right down here, homesteadroofingcolorado.com. We've got a ton of information out there, lots of educational items in videos and blog articles. If you like this video, please give us the big thumbs up. We'd also like it if you've got questions, leave those questions in the comments section down below. Please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon up there so that way you get notified when we've got new videos. And until our next video in this series, I'm Tracy Bookman, owner of Homestead Roofing.